Welcome back to the Stag Raw podcast. This is episode 281, and I'm joined by my good mate, Matt Hickford, absolute legend. He's out there living life less ordinary. We discuss his recent trip to Japan and sailing from Sydney to the Bay of Islands. That was hairy. We didn't even get to discuss his trips to Yaya Ding Dong over there in Iceland. Good times at Beer Fest, Portugal. I mean, we brought it up, but we didn't really get much depth on that amazing trip. Matt has started working about a 2 weeks 2 off there for the oil rigs over there in Taranaki, the promised land. He's an awesome dude. Love spending time with Matt. We enjoyed a couple of bottles of wine, and he brought along a cigar to enjoy on the deck and look over Lake Taupo. It was marvellous. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Check out his Instagram and you can see some of those pictures, including Yaya Ding Dong. What a great movie. If you haven't seen that one, another Will Ferrell great. And of course, the podcast is brought to you by Cane's Deer Velvet. If you or a loved one have some aches and pains setting in or an injury that needs support to heal, consider topping up your body with Cane's Deer Velvet. This right here is what I used Deer Velvet for. I had a really niggly hip injury, which sort of started 2012. A series of scans, and that showed that things weren't so good down there in the right hip. The left one's not so much better, and surgery is the only way to fix it, really. But I soldiered on for a good sort of 4 or 5 years, yoga, and eventually Deer Velvet, and then decided to get the surgery done. The recovery was amazing, despite the fact that they sort of, they dislocate your hip to do this. They had to secure the end of my hip socket with a couple of screws. They drilled in there as well to release some stem cells, and shaved down the neck of my femur. So, yeah, it was awesome recovery. Barely needed the pain relief. They actually had to remind me to stay on the anti-inflammatories because I was feeling so good. And I put that down to a good dose of Deer Velvet. Beautiful stuff. It's packed full of amazing nutrients that the body uses in maintaining the immune system, bones, joints, circulation, and general well-being. So go and find out more at www.canesdeervelvet.com, and if you're doing an order, enter the code STAGRAW252 and get yourself 20% off that order. That website again, canesdeervelvet.com. Discount is STAGRAW252. But you're in the show notes checking out Matt Hickford anywhere, so just tap it there. While you're there, give it 5 stars. That'd be great. Drink Element/Stagraw. You can get your hands on a free sample to try Element. Otherwise, if you're going ahead and doing an ordering, over $100, unfortunately that's US, gets you free international shipping. So, yeah, something to think about when you're on that website. And if you'd like 20% off the brain drink Ārepa, 100% natural, caffeine-free effects you can feel. I love slapping back one of these in the afternoons. In particular, when I'm driving north, finished a busy day, smack one of those back, keep concentrated, keep switched on, but then by the time I get home, have a great sleep, which you won't get from coffee. So, again, Stagraw at checkout gets you 20% off. Right, let's do it. Without further ado, episode 281. Again, make sure you've left a rating. Cheers to the over 915 subscribers on Spotify. That's so cool to see. Just climbing. Thank you so much. Make sure you've left a rating. That really helps get this out to more ears. There's plenty of 1s and 2s out there. We're episode 281. Cheers. Yo, Maddie.
Yo.
Check to the mic, check. 1, 2 with the crew and you with the hype yet. Nowadays, everybody want to talk. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bro. Long time no see.
Yeah. Japan.
That's just one of the many.
How good is 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, Matt? I'm just like, what are you doing next week? Off to Japan.
Yeah, that's
gun skiing.
It's been quite the lifestyle change up, I have to say. It's good though.
Yeah, what were you, Monday to Friday? Occasional weekends?
Yeah.
Sounds rude.
9 to 5 grind, but yeah, got rid of that, threw that in the bin, and now out at site, 12-hour days, 14 days straight,
And when you're away, what's the expectation of you? Nothing. Amazing.
You walk off, so you pretty much finish your shift and it's done.
How does a handover go?
Like you have like a half-hour handover before and after your shift, and just get on with it.
Life Leads Ordinary, Matt Hickford, coming in hot.
Mm.
So what are you doing now?
Like this time off, or
No. In the role.
oh, in the role. So I'm a drilling and well intervention supervisor. So oil and gas operations, wells specific.
Still engineering, still problem solving.
Problem solving, but not engineering. So my old role was as an engineer and like writing the instruction to the field to execute, and now I'm the person receiving the instruction and doing the execution.
And like you said to me, you're trying not to get too dirty.
You're technically, as a supervisor, you're not there to do the physical tasks. You're just there to make sure that the people that are trained to do the jobs, that it's all getting carried out properly.
Right. And so do you have to feed back to your old job the metrics of what's going on? Give them the data?
Oh yeah, 100%. So as part of a supervisor's role, you're like reporting, like depending on what's going on, like every 15 minutes kind of thing, you're breaking down the operation and during the day, and pretty much before the guys in the office get into the office, you will have sent them the draft of the morning report from the last 24 hours, and they'll proof it and make any changes that they need to do and then send it off to the wider.
And so the guys in the office are the ones that are doing business improvement and efficiency and that sort of stuff, and you're...
Well, they're the engineers.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that engineering
and
all of that
like
being a pain in the ass and a picky bugger.
keeping track of costs and figuring out better ways to do things, and
yeah. You just get it done, get it out of the ground.
That's it. Just go penetrate some holes and frack some holes.
Oh. Did we do the fracking lesson last time? Oh, we must have, surely. We've done over a few glasses of wine and pieces of venison at the Mount. I think you've taught all of us the key realities of that. Yeah, gets a bad rap.
Fair bit to it. Tell you what,
I don't think I could execute that just now on that little paper drawing, but I think I've got the general idea.
Yeah.
I came away sort of realising there's much more to it than the headlines. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's incredible. Like, and it doesn't matter what industry it is either. Like, you scratch the surface, and you're like, whoa, I don't know a thing about this industry.
Oh. So what did you do? 4-year engineering degree, 5 years.
Oh, yeah, it's a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you're like oil and gas masters and stuff. Well,
yeah. So that was kind of just an extra for experts kind of thing. Like, I didn't have to do that really, and don't know if I would have done it again if I could turn back time. But
get the tip out there. Might not be worth your time.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's like any other job really. Like, if you know someone who you've worked with before, then that's like how you get the next job kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and you don't really need a master's. Like, you just need to have the experience and a more senior colleague that knows what you're worth kind of thing.
And so how's the pipeline for graduates and undergrads at the moment?
Well, it's like oil and gas is just a dirty industry, right? So not that many are actually keen on coming through, even though we're going to be using it for a long time coming yet.
You with a master's, Matt. You'd think you could be off to Auckland to do some guest lecturing spots.
Yeah, well, the president of the Society of Petroleum Engineers as well at the moment.
You are?
Yeah.
Right.
And we do have a student liaison who goes up to Auckland and down to Canterbury to have chats about the industry, but it's sort of almost fruitless sort of work nowadays. We still give out scholarships, so I'm organising a golf day for this coming Friday for the industry.
Is it the burger day?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. So the burgers will be coming out, and it's basically just a good chance to get the industry people together and have a piss up and a burger and play a round of golf, and it's a good time. And the profits all go to scholarships for third year engineering students that they're supposed to be interested in joining the industry, basically.
Yeah. A few questions out of that. So, what are you guys as an organisation? Are you just a bunch of people that are working in the industry, or like advocating for the industry? Do you have parliamentary links or anything like that? Or
no parliamentary links. It's pretty much just it's the sharing and dissemination of knowledge on the industry. Basically, is the mission statement. So,
and is there some sort of best practice stuff going on, or
like to tell operating companies and stuff? Not really. That sort of just happens through like.
So who adjudicates the industry? MPI or something?
Nah, it's the API, American Petroleum Institute.
What about within New Zealand?
It's the same. API is like best practice for all oil and gas, because it sort of originated there. I think it's kind of just the gospel,
the standard. That's interesting. And so then, when you've got this golf day, do you extract some students and bring them along, or like obviously it's nothing to do with the industry, it's playing golf and having some burgers, but
I think we have invited them down in the past, but typically there's not really much interest, I guess.
Bizarre.
Yeah. I guess we'd have to arrange for them to get down probably, so yeah, it'd just be a logistical thing. And
logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
And so were you the first burger man, or
nah? It originated with a guy called Jim. It was this Texan fella.
Oh.
And he was the president before me, and he kind of passed the baton on to me. So he gave me the burger recipe, which is like it's a legit burger. So I think we make the patties like 200 grams of ground beef of like a really coarse grind, and then it's this barbecue sauce, which is it's like a proper recipe. So you cook the sauce over a stove for like a couple of hours to like reduce it, and then you cook the burgers to like rare, chuck them all in a slow cooker, and just cover all of them with this barbecue sauce.
How many slow cookers you rocking?
Oh, like 7, I think.
Shorten the circuits.
I've got photos on my phone. I'll try and find them later. And then you basically cook them overnight on low, and they're just delicious the next day.
Yeah, and what condiments and things do you fill the burger with?
So we used to cut up heaps of lettuce, tomato, and all like the stuff that Kiwis would put in burgers.
Beetroot and eggs?
No,
none of that shit.
None of that shit. But the amount of lettuce and tomato that kept getting left over over the last couple of years, I was just like, okay, nah, fuck that. We'll just do
bun and patty.
Pretty much bun, patty, and pickle.
Ooh.
I'm not even sure cheese comes into the equation, to be honest.
Who's your sauce man? Do you go a Cully's or?
No.
No?
No. No, it's like it's a recipe.
Oh, right. You said that, yes.
Yeah. So I think I use like the hickory barbecue sauce, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. There's like garlic barbecue sauce,
Worcester
sauce.
Yeah. Great ingredient.
However the fuck you pronounce that.
Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Worcester.
Else? Yeah.
Bloody hell, you were born in England. You should know this shit.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a concoction. To be fair. Nana and Muddy were the ones who used to cook that for me, because obviously they had an office job, so couldn't be cooking that throughout the day. So I subcontracted that off to them, and would just go over and pick that up at the end of work, and then get stuck into the cooking.
Did you put that on your CV for your supervisor job? Like, used to delegate the barbecue sauce making to my grandparents.
Nah, didn't make the cut.
Yeah. That's good skills right there.
Yeah.
Management 101, delegation.
Actually, nearly lit my house on fire.
That's what I was saying about the short circuit.
One burger cooking escapade. Shit, had like a bit of a fat fire going in the pan of the barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, so this is actual cooking the burgers.
The barbecue.
So, did you host the after party?
Nah.
No.
So you cook the patties to like rear.
Oh yeah, medium. Yeah, you said
the night before the golf day, and then overnight they cook, and then the burgers get eaten on the golf day. It like kicks off at 11, and then tee offs at 12. So get a couple of beers and a couple of burgers, and then go and chase a white ball around.
What's the requirements on the course?
In what way?
Are you guys walking? Are you, in what are they called?
Golf carts.
Nah,
it's walking.
Yep. Any beverage requirements or?
Yeah. So we have an excellent drink sponsor on the day. I think we end up buying like nearly $2,000 worth of beer, or like drinks. And yeah, it all goes. So there's like 2 carts with ice boxes on them, and they just kind of circulate, making sure everyone keeps hydrated.
Hydration is key. So someone, I think they were on a hunt the other day, and they had a Musashi, one of those big protein, not squares, an oblong, and then a Pals, and I was like, yeah, you got to keep up the hydration. Might have been the 0% though.
Oh yeah,
it was a purple coloured can. I'm not sure. I'm not out with my Pals of late.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in that red one. That's quite good. I liked it.
I'm not a fan of that red one.
it?
No. I really like that pineapple one though.
See, I'm not with you on that.
Not down on the pineapple.
If I had to choose, I'd grab a your classic gin and cucumber and soda. Yeah, that'd be how
the gin one.
Yeah, that'd be how I'd head if I had to roll.
I thought you were going to say the purple Pals. That's the classic go-to.
So what is that, passion fruit?
I think so. Yeah,
it would make sense. Also, what do I know?
It's quite good.
Quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And what's the point of it? Just a bit of morale.
Well, yeah, a bit of morale and the scholarship raising.
It's a great cause.
Yeah. We normally give like a couple of $3,000 scholarships out every year to the engineers, and they're going into their final year.
Do you give them the tip of how to actually make this money work for you? Don't just, spend it at the student bar.
Nah.
Although Auckland just pay you bloody rent. Fuck.
They're typically pretty switched on characters.
Don't lie.
They're the ones who make the shortlist for the scholarships though tend to be like pro at the scholarship process.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to them and they've like they know how to
answer the questions.
They know how to answer the questions, how to interview for
They should write a course.
They should.
Yeah, speaking of finance, they should write a course.
And like typically you can see through it a little bit as well, but yeah.
What's the follow through from the scholarship into the industry? Have you looked at that?
Oh, it's not good.
No.
Yeah, you almost sort of feel like why do we keep doing
What's
this?
the major?
There's no petroleum engineering in New Zealand, so it's like mechanical engineers like me,
Yeah.
or chemical and process engineers basically is the main
Hey, that's
two.
That's what my brother did.
Yeah.
Chem Pro.
Yep. But yeah, but also there's not really, so like you have to have interested parties to join, which I think some of them are. Like they're probably not that keen on moving down to New Plymouth.
Or up.
Yeah, correct. And there's also got to be a job to actually apply for as well, which there isn't always, like every year. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Big wide world out there.
Yeah.
And you're just a little niche.
Yeah.
Very important niche.
Yep.
I don't know how you got here today, but I got here thanks to you.
Yep.
Haven't quite upgraded my Tesla to my Tesla yet. Yeah.
It'll probably be obsolete soon anyway.
Run out of cobalt.
Be hydrogen.
Yeah.
Hydrogen will be a new thing.
Yeah, one day they say. No, we'll be rocking little micro fission units. It'll drive everything.
Fission, you reckon?
I listened to a convincing thing the other day. They were talking about how hot they had to get the reaction, and with all these like magnets in this sort of infinity shaped thing. It hurt my brain, that was for sure.
Who are you listening to listen to that?
Lex Friedman and some other fella from
Right.
MIT. It was intense.
He'll hurt your brain.
Yeah. Or especially when they talk about fission, and it's like, so this is all mostly theoretical. Do you know what did hurt my brain last time as well was Eric Weinstein. I even like sat down, put it on normal speed, and watched it on the television.
Oh yeah.
And I've got about an hour to go, and I'm just like, can't bring myself.
Is this the most recent one where they talk about aliens?
Yeah, but he's trying to like explain how maybe it'll be real. Yeah.
I like started listening to that on the way up to Auckland the other day, and I was just like, nah.
Well, if you watch it, he actually like, because it's, what is it, the geometrical theory of everything. So 14 dimensions or some shit like that.
Oh.
And yeah. You're like, what?
No, it's a bit much.
Yeah,
Bit much.
But yeah, watching it on real speed and with him sort of talking about it, I thought I was keeping up, but then I'm trying to explain what he said and I can't. So clearly not. Yeah. So you're Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the most recent trip, which was pretty cool. Yeah, a couple of mates had already organised going over, and I didn't really know what I was up to because of girlfriends and etc. But circumstances changed, and
Opportunities arose.
and so then I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So was there a tentative invitation there?
Yeah. They'd like told me about it, and I just had to figure it out.
And so how did tagging and accommodation on go? That was fine? That was easy?
Yeah, like the accommodation that they had booked had enough beds and stuff for all of us anyway, if I decided to come. So yeah, it all worked out pretty well.
What were you staying in?
Oh, we had this awesome apartment in Hickford Iwataki village, right at the base of the ski field. Little 2-bedroom apartment with 4 single beds, and it was just mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how'd you just get around? Was it like
We rented a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far did you have to drive?
Oh, like so the first day we literally just like walked out to the chairlift and got cracking.
Yeah.
You could buy a 5-day pass for the whole Hickford Valley, and that has like 9 or 11 different ski resorts, and they're all like from where we were. I think we were pretty much smack bang in the middle.
We've already had one bottle and we're halfway through the second, so apologies.
And so it was pretty much like a half-hour drive in each direction to the furthest away resort, basically. So I think.
And could you like cheer up to the top and ski down to the bottom and cheer back again?
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
It's a setup, hey.
Oh, it was
not that I'm a ski bunny, but like I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it was super cool. And there was a couple of ski fields that were like connected.
Yeah.
So I think it was Hakuba 47 and Goryu, which were like kind of two sides going up. So they met at the top, and you could ski down one, but you had to, like, if you wanted to get back to your car, obviously, like go back down the one that you came up the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long was a run? Like, did you get quite tired?
Yeah. If you caught like all the chairlifts up, you'd need to stop a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is there little spots where you can stop for refreshments and?
Yep. Yeah. There's like cafes at basically the top and down at the base as well. So yeah, you can stop in and get some karaage chicken and a Red Bull. Don't normally drink Red Bull, but it was like a staple over there. So
you should just go on with Asahi, just like, or Sapporo, just like.
Oh yeah, I think I had a couple of Asahis up on the mountain as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for good measure, loosen up a bit.
Listen up. Yeah, I did when we went to Coronet last time. That Verve Hut, I think, bit of a mild wine at lunch and.
Oh, there you go.
Corona, I think I had a Corona there. Yeah, just before you go to the right to the T-bar.
Mm.
Well, they're being, as I said, no ski bunny, but on a snowboard, the T-bar was a bit of a like. So how do I do this? Figured it out in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, T-bars can be quite brutal as a snowboarder, especially if you're not used to them.
Yeah. Well, especially I wouldn't classify myself as a snowboarder. I was snowboarding.
Oh, right. Yep.
I don't own one, and I can. Oh, now I can probably count on two hands the amount of snowboarding I've done.
Oh, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, no, it's enough.
Yeah.
But that first day is a bit hairy.
Yeah.
Especially on dough side, you're like. I love snow. It's tasty as.
That's one good thing about skiing.
Well, would you class yourself as a good skier? Like, I understand. Like, I went skiing at like 11, and I was like, "Yeah, this is good." Like, we just went straight up Shadow Basin at the Remarkables, and like let it rip. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is." Once you figured it out, it was kind of like go. But then I hear getting awesome, like the old moguls type level stuff.
I think you have to like moguls to. I don't enjoy moguls. It's hard work. Like, I can do them, but they're not. Yeah.
What did you hurt?
Skiing?
No, was it motocross?
Oh yeah, motorbiking. I like partially tore my patella tendon.
Right, and so that hasn't affected your skiing, eh?
No.
Nah.
It's pretty much all good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can still feel like where it's partially torn, but it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't get in the way of like squatting or anything like that. It's
good.
It's fine.
So, what was your Japanese experience? Just basically see some monkeys, do some skiing.
Yeah. So,
did you go to those hot pools with the monkeys?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw the snow monkeys. That was like a must see for me. I definitely had to see them.
I must see for Japan is go to that town that has all the Sega deer in it. That looks buzzy as.
The what?
There's a town that has like Sega deer just like walking all around the middle of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't know where it is. Might be in Nippon, but it could be wrong. Someone correct me.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, so we skied. We stayed in Hakuba for like 6 nights, I think. And one of the days was just pissing down with rain, so it was no good to ski. So Hakuba's in the Nagano region, and so are the monkeys. The monkeys are like, I don't know, like an hour and a half or 2 hour drive from where we were staying.
Yeah.
So we decided that we would fill that rainy day up with going to the temple in Nagano and going and watching the monkeys enjoy themselves in the hot tub. And it was pretty cool. They're pretty chill monkeys. Like,
do you hot tub yourself or no?
Not with the monkeys, no.
No.
But yeah, we did partake in the onsen culture. So get your dicks out. And,
I was about to say you have to get your kid off, right?
And go and have a swim with your mates.
Best of friends now.
Which it was an interesting experience as well.
Do you still go sauna down there in the Promised Land?
I don't sauna too much, but obviously my hot tub. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've removed the need to go to the pools.
I would like a sauna.
Oh yeah,
and an ice bath, but maybe one day. We'll say I'm hardly ever at home anymore anyway, so.
Yeah, you've imported the cousins to look after Graham.
Yes, exactly. That's going real well too.
Yeah,
they're I think they enjoy themselves there, and it's great having them.
Reliable tenants, that's for sure.
Look after my house and especially look after Graham. He came into a bit of strife the other day.
What happened to Graham?
Oh, he was in some scrap, I think, and had a bit of a ulcer under one of his ears.
Oh dear!
So he had a bit of pus. Luckily, my cousin is.
Have you insured Graham?
No.
No.
I hate insurance companies. Fucking scum.
Well, what's your beef?
Well, it's like they cost heaps.
Yeah.
For low probability things, right?
Yeah.
And
have you had it out with Jensen?
No. Interesting to have a chat though. He'd probably agree with a lot of what I say.
Well, he's on the underwriting side of things.
Yeah. But Graham's pretty good to be fair. Like he's been to the vet once, and that was he was in another scrap, but it was quite a bad one. He had
he is a ginge. They're just assholes.
But he's such a lovely puss.
He's good in the house, but
he's such a friendly puss.
Gingers are psychos.
Anyway, he had these puncture wounds on his front leg and his hind leg, and he was just acting real weird one time, like just super dopey.
Oh, he's infected.
High fever.
Yeah.
Like real cuddly because he was probably he had the chills and just weird behaviour. And I was like, oh no, what the fuck's up with Graham? And then for some reason must have grabbed him somehow and just saw a bit of pus come out. And I was like, oh, Graham.
That's not good.
Shit. And then you take him to the vet and they tell you that they're going to have to put him under to basically drain these wounds, and they give you the whole spiel when they if you go under anaesthetic, there's every chance that
they
don't come out, and man, that's quite
got you in the feels.
That's quite hard to hear. I don't know if Billy's ever been in the hospital for anything serious or anything, but
no, not yet. Thankfully, touch wood.
Yeah, but I imagine it would be even more emotional than Graham, and it was quite emotional.
How old's Graham now?
Oh, he must be I don't know, 6 or 7.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's still got plenty of good years in him.
Yeah.
We've got old Ernie Bernstein. And he's 13, and man, he's got some fibroids, eh? And it's funny because his whole torso of fur is quite good, and he just loves to scratch up on his head and stuff. The moment you go past where his fur kind of craps out, he's just full of little nodules and stuff, and he just quivers every time he gets out of there straight away. You're like, oh mate, you're not in a good way.
Oh dear.
Because we got him basically because he was going to be put down, and someone saved him. And so we got him for free. And he's a good chap, but I think he's got a bit of amnesia as well. He does the old in and out, and you're like, what do you want, man? And it's you fed him, and he just stands in the middle of the kitchen, be like, you're like, over there, man, turn around. And then he kind of goes over. I don't know, maybe he's blind too, I don't know. 13 can't be that old.
The food's over there, where it always is, every day. Just...
No, he's good sort. Good sort. Loves a scratch under the chin.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. You're like, oh, come on, man. Is Graham rowdy?
Come on, man.
You got a cat door though, eh?
Yeah, he just roam. He's pretty good hunter, to be fair.
Actually, you only got a rat. I was like, good.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, good. That means there's more. Not surprising though. Like we have a ivy hedge.
They don't typically kill them though, eh?
This one was dead.
They'll play with them, and if they get sick of them before they're ready to eat them, then
he didn't eat this. He just killed it. I
Yeah.
was like, good lad.
Oh, it's quite good. Like sometimes Graham will actually finish the job, and like you'll hear him just crunching a bird's head in his.
I was about to say that I've noticed a few less birds around, but I haven't seen any
yeah.
dead ones.
Mm.
So, but then we've had there's about 100 cats in our neighbourhood, so one more's not going to influence bird numbers. I don't think. Nah. But yeah, there is a severe lack of tuis and fantails.
Mm.
Yeah,
They're typically way smarter birds.
yeah. I think that when they see like 20 cats in a cul-de-sac, they're like, oh, no.
Mm.
Even if there is like a big ass cawthorn tree, they're like, well, that looks tasty,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, like I've never seen Graham come in with any of a fantail or a tui. Like he doesn't catch them in the trees. He catches them on the ground. Just because you know how I've got those terraces.
Yeah.
They'll like be on the top. The birds will be just pecking on the top terrace, and he'll just like stalk up to the like the stairs.
Yeah.
And just pop up and just done
like a dinner.
Yeah.
So you picked a good weather window to sail from, almost too good. You got becalmed to sail from Australia to New Zealand, man.
I wouldn't say it was too good.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have been a month ago.
Wow.
We
We were becalmed, but before we were becalmed, it was pretty savage. Like pretty much 2 days in, I think. We'd
was this when you had no steering too?
Yeah.
So go through just even getting out of the bloody Sydney Harbour.
Yeah. All right. So we boarded the boat on, I think it was a Sunday.
Why were you doing another trip? What do you need?
So because I'm going for my yacht masters, I need 2,500 nautical miles of sailing experience.
And so you're a day skipper so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we talked about the going below 40 degrees south last time.
50.
Jesus. That's deep.
Southern Ocean, yep.
Yeah.
And so that was probably like almost 1,500 nautical miles from Hobart down to 50 through the Foveaux Strait up the east coast of the South Island to Picton. And then this one was just pretty much straight across from Sydney to Bay of Islands. So
round the top.
Yep. So we boarded the boat on the Sunday and pretty much did the customs thing and set sail like late afternoon.
What was customs like? I'm going back to New Zealand. Was that just like I'm leaving Australian shores?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not smuggling drugs. Do they check for that?
No, I don't think they typically care.
You're out of there.
On the outbound things. Like they definitely check when you're doing the customs, like when you're entering. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure there wasn't dogs or anything that came on board. There was when we came back in because they like do the full check because like New Zealand's pretty hot on biosecurity.
So you being in New Zealand in Australia, did they check your like in and out as well?
Well, so I would have scanned my passport coming in.
Oh, so you didn't have a stamp
because I flew.
Yeah.
And then
hopefully they had a record.
I guess the customs dudes at the dock would have like. There must be some way that they record like in and out to like know that you're not overstaying or whatever. Even, you can't really.
You're allowed to stay
anyway.
Yeah. Say you're a POM. Because you do have a British passport, right?
Yeah. Yep. I've only used it once. and that was just because it was brand new. I'm pretty sure it like almost is worthless, apart from like being able to work in England.
Yeah.
And Scotland, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
So anyway, we board the boat and push off, and so we're just motoring through Sydney Harbour. We go under the bridge next to the Opera House. It's all very beautiful, pretty nice evening on the water. All the Christmas parties are happening out on the like party boats and stuff, which was quite cool. And then I can't remember. I don't think we had the sails up yet, but we were like.
So what's moving you?
Motor.
Which is what?
Engine.
A propeller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And skipper's like telling me to like steer a certain direction. I'm like, I'm trying. It's not doing anything. And so anyway, that was a bit of excitement. And basically on that occasion, he had recently serviced the steering. So this basically it's a steering wheel, and the axle of the steering wheel has like a cog which a chain goes over, and the chain connects to some cables. The cables go under the deck and into some pulleys to
Is
like.
this because you got quite intimate with this mechanism?
Yeah, to the actual like steering column, which has the rudder on it, and basically he'd replaced a chain link as part of this maintenance, and it was a different part to what was on there already, and
so a different link to the chain that was on.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was a slightly longer shackle basically, and so there's a bit more slack in the wire rope.
Yeah.
And the wire rope basically jumped off one of the pulleys, and so you had the wheel was turning, but nothing, like the lights were on, but nobody was home.
It wasn't communicating.
Yeah. So we this is why you have emergency tillers. So a tiller is basically if you consider like a dinghy, like a lazy yacht, you have the tiller, basically, which you're steering with, and so you just pretty much bolt this tiller onto the steering column, and now you're sailing with a tiller, not a wheel. So we did that until we could get to like an anchorage and fix what had gone wrong. So we motored up to a mooring and sorted that out. That took probably, I don't know, like an hour.
So what did you replace? Or just put the cable back on?
Cable back on and tightened it as much as we could.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that was all good. We sorted that and we were ready to go again. So we get out through the Sydney Heads and all's good.
Is that quite calm and cruisy?
Yeah, it was on that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a good channel out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, plenty of water. And like had a chat on what the sort of night roster was going to be, because you kind of have to, you can't just not have anyone up on the deck throughout the night. Like you need to have someone watching the weather and making sure that the course is good, and because we pretty much we turned the engine off and we were just sailing for the whole time across, pretty much.
And so can you lock a path?
Not really.
Not really. So with that shift, someone's got to steer.
So we had what's called a wind vane, and a wind vane basically holds the wind angle. So if you're sailing on like a broad reach or whatever, like,
what does that mean?
So you have I have to think about my sailing terms here. A beam reach is like basically straight across the side of the boat. A broad reach is behind you, and a close reach is the wind's coming from your front quarters.
Yeah.
So you basically set your sails on a particular wind angle.
So you're going with the wind, but on a tight angle.
You're going with the wind on a broad reach only. The other ones, the wind's either sideways or ahead of you, but you still move forward.
Yeah.
Against the wind. Yeah.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Like
leave me behind.
When you watch the America's Cup together.
Yeah.
And you'll see.
We did before Ned's got it.
Yeah.
It was great.
So yeah, basically a wind vane, you trim your sails to whatever wind angle you need for sailing the course that you're after, and your wind vane will basically steer your rudder to maintain that point of sail.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to touch your sails, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the steering just takes care of itself, by and large. But like if the wind is changing direction, then you're just following the wind around to hold that point of sail, if you get me.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're off course. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to make adjustments. But it's a pretty handy tool to
Adjustments to your steering and sails.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So because if the wind changes, then you need to trim your sails to what the wind angle needs to be for the same.
And do you
course
readjust the wind veil as well or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Getting it.
Yep. So yeah, anyway, all was going good for like the first couple of days. We were basically running like a 2-hour roster, so I think there was 5 of us on board, so we were doing like 2 hours on, what would that be? Like 8 hours off, kind of, or 6 hours off, or something.
Yeah. What were the levels of experience?
So Peter, the skipper, has a shitload of experience. He's sailed around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he built the yacht that we were sailing on.
Hearty. Same boat you took in the first trip?
Yep. And one of the other guys, Peter Richmond, he sailed on that 50 South one as well, and he's done a couple more ocean sails as well. So he's pretty good. Who else do we have? We had another guy who hadn't done blue water sailing, this French fella, but he was all good. He was
So it's quite technical. Quite technical.
What, the sail that we went on? Or?
No, the guy that hadn't done much blue water, but he'd done a bit of sailing.
Yeah, he'd done a little bit of sailing. Like he has his own boat, which he sails around Tassie. Yeah, and to be fair, there's not that much to blue water sailing compared to normal sailing. It's just you're alone in the middle of the ocean.
Coast Guard's not quite there.
And one of the other guys has done a bit of just normal sailing as well. I'm not sure if he'd done blue water or not, but yeah. So yeah, got our roster going, and then must have been like the second or third night, and or actually no, it was early in the morning, I think, and we just got smashed with this huge squall. And a squall is basically, actually I don't think it was a squall, I think it was just like a full-on weather system coming through. And
so what does it look like?
it just looks like
Band?
a lot of wind.
Yeah.
Like and that just hit us for a day, pretty much.
And does it hold, again going back to your steering and stuff, does it hold a direction or just chaotic?
Oh,
And like surge and what's a wind gust? Does it gust?
It does handle gusts, but I can't remember what was going on at that point. I think so. Pretty much like we had too much sail up, so we were way overpowered. and we needed to put sail away ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one of these ones
So why does it just come at you? What sort of information do you have? Like a radio instruction for a while, or what?
Nah, you don't really have that. Not in the middle of the ocean. You're kind of just like...
What do you have from satellites? Nothing.
Not a whole lot, unless you've got like a satellite internet type thing where you're checking the weather. But to be fair, like the forecasting was pretty rubbish anyway.
Yeah.
We were just probably a little bit slow to react, I think. Like the wind doesn't just like bang.
Yeah.
Apart from squalls, which you can see a squall because it just looks like you're like sailing into a wall of rain.
Yeah.
Like you'll see the isolated rain patches in the middle of the ocean. That's a squall.
Yeah.
And they typically are very windy.
And so when you're in a blue patch and you're looking ahead to cloud fronts, can you see how high they are? Do you get that sort of perspective?
Clouds, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of get a bit of information from the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it normally will just sort of start getting...
Then I suppose if like you think about you're on a mountain range or on a large plain and you see an electrical front coming towards you or a big storm coming towards you, like it's there pretty quick. And if you're in a boat moving, like I don't know how vast can you see?
Oh, you can see quite far. But yeah, you just have to be on the ball. And if it's dark, so it was early morning, so it would have been still dark, so you wouldn't be able to see really much at all.
Okay.
Apart from you can either see stars or you can't. But
it's black and white.
But that's not really like that much information really.
Yeah.
In the night. So anyway, it was like you get the shout down from the deck, all hands on deck, right. Kind of thing.
So that's like, a legit thing.
Yeah.
It's not just for the movies.
Yeah. And we're just trying to put some sail away because it's mental, like, and you can tell like when you're down below because you can hear it. It just sounds like a jet engine kind of thing, and the boat just heels right over. And
so there's just a big creak of tension.
You're just hearing the wind like...
Yeah, right. And so how do you relieve the sail? Like, do you just kind of let it out, or what do you do?
Yeah, well, so you have to... So the foresail, it was a furling foresail.
What's that mean?
So it means that like you're not raising and dropping it every time you want to. You're put more,
wrapping it up and
yeah, you're basically turning it around itself and furling it away.
I have seen that on some of the yachts in the Turbo Harbour and Auckland Harbour. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So to do that, you need to let out some slack off the sheet, which is the thing that controls it either side, depending on what tack you're on, and then furl it away, and pretty much we let too much slack off the sheet to where it was just like flapping quite aggressively in the wind.
Yeah.
And it beat itself to death and ripped the clew out of the sail. So the clew is the little metal ring that the sheet is attached to.
Yeah.
And so we ripped the clew out, and so now you have no sheet.
Did it just fly away?
And no, well, so it's still on the furler, but now it's just beating itself to death. Yeah. So it got several rips horizontally in it, and we filled it away, but it's fucked.
Yeah,
you're not sailing with that again. And then shortly after that, the steering fucked out again. Differently to the first time. So this time, I think one of the chain links had actually broken, like on the cog itself. So
not the new one.
I don't know. I didn't actually see it myself, but yeah. So we had to. So now we're in the middle of the ocean. We're like 200 miles off Sydney, so we're like way too far away. The wind's like behind us, pushing us to New Zealand. So like,
You're not going to turn around.
it's not. Yeah, it's too far to turn around, and it's quite a stressful situation now because we got no steering and we're one sail short. So we've still got our main sail, but I was just like, fuck, this is a bit uncomfortable. And I was pretty much like to like what?
When's the Mayday happen?
Yeah, pretty much. Like no one was like panicked, but there was like a fair bit of anxiety. It was.
When have you suffered from anxiety before, man? When you're sailing 50 degrees.
So he was like, "Oh, how's your anxiety level after like the dust had settled a little bit?" And I was like, "Oh, probably like a 7 out of 10 or something." And he was like, "Oh, yep, same."
Reassuring.
But luckily, he's got a wealth of knowledge and knows what he's up to, and because he built the boat, he knows every nook and cranny, and pretty much he was like, "Okay, well, shit about the sail, but we've got a couple of spare sails in the forepeak that we can rig up, no problem." So that's not really a thing. And the steering can only be one of about 3 things, and all of them can be fixed. So
imagine telling all the way.
So we were even in the state that we were still pretty much just sailing sideways at about 5 knots or something towards New Zealand, and then once we fixed the steering first because it was still a bit rough to put up a storm sail up the front. Like, we attempted doing a storm sail during the 50 South trip, and it was dangerous.
As a teaching exercise or what?
Yeah, sort of. It was kind of a practice thing, but it didn't go very well. And just when you're dealing with sails and a bit of wind, man,
What's the purpose of a storm sail?
It's just a smaller sail.
Right.
Yeah, so it's less sail area, so it's less powerful. But even a storm sail has quite a bit of power.
Being small, is it more fragile?
Nah, it's the same sort of material. It's just smaller area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a smaller sail, the sail has got to carry the resistance on the hull, right? So, smaller sail means you're not going to move so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's okay. Like, you still get to where you need to go.
You're moving, but you're not in danger of chaos like you had.
Yeah.
Becomes manageable again.
Yeah. So we fixed the steering reasonably quickly, like probably, I don't know, half a day later.
Yeah. Fuck. How slow does time go?
Not as slow as when you're becalmed. Man, when you're becalmed.
Well, I suppose you got like the job at hand, whereas you got no job at hand, nothing to do.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, it goes pretty fast.
Does process slow down though? Do you become quite present? As an experience, what is it like? Like in retrospect,
it's well, at the time it's kind of stressful.
Yeah, but how are you? What are you doing to handle it?
Well, you're just like, you trust the skipper because he's been there before, kind of thing, and knows what he's up to, and he's like a good leader that he doesn't panic, and therefore everything stays quite calm.
Yeah.
But there is like an
Urgency.
underlying anxiety.
Yeah.
There wasn't urgency. It's not. We weren't in a hurry to like fix. Like, we wanted to fix the steering and the sail as like quickly as we can, but it's not like there's a deadline or anything. It's
Right.
We weren't in danger or anything. So like the waves weren't.
It's not like you're going to hit rocks or something, eh?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely not rocks. And the waves weren't such that we were at risk of getting toppled over or anything. So
And so if waves are there, you've got to have your whole direction right. Is that correct?
yeah, you would want it to be. I would say you'd want it to be in the direction the wave was going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we certainly weren't at that point.
Did you have waves on that first trip?
Not really
Not really?
waves. Not really
No.
waves. Just swells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were moving through those all right.
Yeah, it's fine. You had a pretty big piece of lead underneath you that's in a
How
sail
far away
that's
is that?
kinda keeping you. Hey?
How far away is the big piece of lead?
Oh, it's like attached to the hull, so it's.
Yeah, how deep is it going?
I think the draft of that boat's like 1.6 meters,
Oh, yeah.
but like the whole thing is lead.
Yeah, and then what's the boom? No?
The mast.
Mast.
The mast
Mast.
is like. I don't know, that thing must be like 20, 30 meters high.
Do you have to go up there?
No.
No. Anyone?
Not on this trip.
No.
No.
Well,
It's quite dangerous.
you'd
going
have to
up there
re-rig if you'd only go up there to rig something.
if you needed to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortunately we had enough halyards, spare halyards, that we could pull up the storm sail on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see yourself navigating and around the world just yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I'd probably want another couple of trips. I'm sure I could do it, but
Nothing gnarlier when you're seeing those dudes up the top of the mast, eh? You're just like,
oh fuck, I wouldn't want to get up there. Not in the middle of the ocean. Nah,
you scared of heights?
not particularly.
No.
But like, it's wobbly enough on like the surface of the water, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like, you imagine 30 meters up, you've got a lot more movement.
Did you get sick at all?
Yeah, like, so I'm not normally seasick, but these last two trips, I think it's like a bit of tiredness, a bit of nervousness, and the first day I'm always sick,
Right, yeah.
and then it's done.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I like,
Find your sea legs.
yeah, have a couple of spews, and then have a lie down, and then like pretty much good to go.
What do you eat?
Well, so the skipper pretty much did all the cooking, and he's pretty
Is
good.
that part of his service?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he knows his boat, and he's planned enough trips now that he kind of knows how much of whatever you need to make, which will make everything last, and what things kind of go together, and because it's obviously a lot of non-perishable stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
he does a real good job, actually. Quite gourmet.
Gourmet.
Yeah.
Like Moet.
Mm.
So what's it like under deck? Like, you got some bunks, or it's just kind of
Yeah.
little hollows out there sleeping? What are you sleeping in?
Yeah, so it's a bunk, and you take your own sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag, right.
Yes, like if you've seen the inside of a yacht before, it's like any
And what's
yacht.
cooking? What is he cooking on?
Like he's got a proper kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gas.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you need to do now to be a master?
Do the exam.
Oh, nice. You got your hours now.
Yep.
Do they expire?
Yeah, they do eventually. It's quite a few years though, so
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully, smash that out this year would be ideal. But
Who are you doing that through?
Well, Sale Nelson do it. The dates didn't really work out this year though.
So is that where you and your dad, when did you, what was it?
Day skipper?
Day skipper, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got his PPP, right?
Yep.
Yeah, loose.
Yep. So he's just going for a rating in another plane at the moment as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think he was even talking about potentially flying down to New Plymouth this weekend. So
For some hours or
for
the new plane?
To just get down there. For
Yes.
a weekend.
That's so cool.
He was trying to convince me to do it as well now that I've got a bit of time up my sleeve. So I was like, oh,
Coast to coast with the Hickfords.
Yeah. Keen, but you can only
do your triple P? Be a pilot?
like not commercially.
Yeah.
But
PP, yeah.
yeah,
Was it? Yeah, personal privates.
yeah.
Yeah, plane.
You can only have so many hobbies though.
I know.
So
I have hard enough time doing my first hobby.
I know. I've got a garage full of things that I'm like. You've still got a lot of uses of that thing to make it like a.
So what are you talking about? You got your gym, your bike, your motorbike,
Yeah, well.
and now you got to build a yacht.
So yeah. There's the road bike,
Yeah.
the mountain bike, the
Your mountain bike
the
too.
dirt bike,
Yeah.
the skis,
Oh yeah, that too.
the windsurfer.
When did you get that?
A couple of years ago.
And what type did you get? Board with mast on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the kite one.
I've got a kite one now as well.
Oh fuck's sake, man.
Too many hobbies.
Yeah.
So yeah, need to make plans to use those things.
So, just within the breakwater, or down to Fitzroy, or
the kite surfer, I'll probably do a bit in the mount to start with, or in Tauranga, because
in like Pilot Bay type stuff.
not Pilot Bay, but down in Matua where there's like the estuary,
Yeah.
where it's a bit shallower, and typically I think it's Ferguson Park.
Okay. Yeah.
Where a lot of kite surfers hang out there, just because it's a good place to kite surf.
Yeah.
So do a bit there, and then the windsurfer. Yeah, need to get that out in the breakwater for starters, and then get skilled enough, and then.
Have you had some instruction? Or?
Yep. So there's.
Now this all reminds me of you watching those YouTube videos. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So there's a guy in New Plymouth who does windsurfing lessons, which is helpful.
Yeah.
And did a week's worth of windsurfing camp in Portugal when I was over there last as well, which was good. That actually helped quite a lot, having like a solid like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had my one helicopter lesson when I was 30. That was I think I got a half hour.
Yep.
Got to do all the controls. And then old mate took me around the airfield. He was a musterer up north, so he had some good skills, and I don't think he showed me all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Having watched some of those musterers videos where they're flying backwards and got like the nose down and then just like hovering at the kettle, just like move. Yeah, so I think he does a bit of that. But he'd also done sheep and deer mustering in the South Island as well, in the chopper, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
talented, eh?
yeah. So I'm hoping to ride in a helicopter for my 35th thing.
Oh yeah.
There's so Charles Peters that Pat and I went over, did the Tongariro with.
Yep.
And I've had on the podcast him and a couple of the guys from Tauranga, Ruben and Tim Taylor. They all go into Kaimanawas in August. Just try shoot a bunch of deer, shoot a bunch of hinds. Yeah, I think they go to the Cascade Hut. So hopefully I can find some time, get some time off, and go to that. And that can be year 35, another trip in a helicopter.
Nice.
And then maybe I'll have some money and by the time I'm 40, I can start learning it.
Oh, yeah.
Nicole's going to be like, so what, Ryan? No.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because when I have the deer farm, you got to have the chopper to get up to the back.
Oh, 100%.
Because it'll be a station, not. What was it? Halfway Bay in Queenstown was selling the other year for something like $20 million. That was that lotto win on if you won it on outright on Saturday. I think that was 14 million or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't even buy a Halfway Bay.
Pretty good deposit, though.
Well, that's the thing. Commercial farm. Massive station. Yeah, just shoot over to the... Well, that's one of the missions I want to do. Shoot over to the Mavura River catchment. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I wanted to do. Some awesome missions like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Pretty good.
Were you sort of touring in Japan or just doing the runs?
Nah, we pretty much... Yeah, we didn't do any, like, proper ski touring. I'd love to do that, but the guys that I was with, two of them hadn't really snowboarded at all.
And that's what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of them, Chad, he was about my level on a snowboard. And so we were kind of just...
Did you snowboard at the time?
No, I was skiing. We were just hitting up the more advanced stuff and inside the trees and stuff, which was real cool.
What happened after the rain? Did you get some fresh pow?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, before the rain, it was all just bluebird, which was lovely, but
crispy,
hard packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, not icy, but yeah, it was like I haven't really come to Japan for hard pack. Like,
yeah,
I'm here for the power. And yeah, fortunately, the last 2 days that we were there, got decent amounts of powder, which was really cool.
Yeah. You got a chance to get out the orange suit.
Yeah, mate.
How'd that go on the mountain?
Oh, it's so good. I love that suit.
Yeah.
It looks fucking epic.
Is it a onesie or no?
Yeah.
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 What's it like going on the toilet?
Oh, it's all good. It's
got your long johns on.
Like doing number one, it's just like a big fly.
Yeah.
You zip down. Or no, well,
zip up.
Yeah, I think it's got a zip that goes up, which that's easy enough. If you need to go number twos, then it's not too bad. You just try and chuck the top half inside like the legs.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't all go on the floor.
End up on the floor. Yes.
Tell you what though, the Japanese are quite clean. That's and good. The toilets are excellent.
Bidets or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Heated seats.
Oh. Oh, so they got those like real high class toilet seat bidets.
Yeah.
Warm and got all your buttons and.
Yep. So you've got the
You'd be installing one of those in Taranaki now.
Oh, I do want to. I've got one of those bidet hoses, which is
at home.
Yeah.
Since when?
Oh, since my sister, because they're selling the house in Fitzroy.
Right. To move out to the block.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And that had a bunch of those bidet hoses, and so I was like, "Oh, what are you doing with those?" Yeah. And she was like, oh, "You want one? Take it."
So that's just like attached on top of the seat, right?
So it's like you've got the tap on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like a shower head. Imagine a shower head.
Yeah.
It's like that, but smaller with like a trigger.
And so that's a section within the normal hose into the cistern.
Nah, it's separate to the cistern.
Right.
Yeah. So you've got a T-piece now from the tap on the wall. One hose is going into your cistern. One hose is going to your
bidet hose. In your butt. And use your toilet paper to dry.
Well, give it a wipe up the...
You just really make sure. Wash it, chat.
Wipe up the most of it
yeah.
first, because you don't want to be spraying shit everywhere.
No, this is true.
But,
thanks for the lesson in bidet etiquette. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Your time in Japan's been valuable. Yeah.
But yeah, the ones in Japan. So obviously the one at home is just cold water because there ain't no hot tap on the wall in my house.
Note that for the mansion.
Yeah. But the ones in Japan, because it's an electric toilet seat, it's it's got warm water that comes out as well, which is
Beautiful.
just lovely.
Especially in the middle of winter.
Yep. Like, I can't believe how badly the West does toileting.
Especially some of the public places in this country, or even just restaurant establishments.
Yeah.
Crikey dicks. Although, having worked in some fine establishments, it's no fault of the publicans, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst job at the cook, is having to... People would, like, break the glass in the urinal and then vomit all over it. And so you'd have to get in, like, and that was our job as security. I don't know if you could call me security. I was just a presence, really. It was to, like, go in and clean out urinals with spew. And of course, everyone's pissed on top of it. And the toilet's been flushing. So there's just, not good. And there's a glass in there as well. And so you've just got to take a bucket and, god damn.
That's just great. And
me being the one that's the presence, just like standing around inside, I don't know what I was doing, but anyhow, I'm not the one on the door. That was mostly my job. So I was basically a glorified toilet cleaner, to be fair.
How good. So apparently we were told by our Airbnb host, apparently the Japanese children, there's no cleaners at their school. So the children have to clean, like, the toilets. They have to clean the school, basically.
Yeah.
And so they learn from a real young age not to be little cunts and
Hey, that is
be
beautiful.
disgusting, like they keep it pretty clean.
Was that one of your jobs growing up, cleaning the loo?
I was actually a clean freak, so yeah, but I used to do it for pocket money.
In the house?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We only had the pocket money system for a little while.
Mm.
I did my financial journey for Keep the Change the other day, and that was one of the things I brought up, is I thought I was pretty good on the old chores and contribute to the family funds, but my older and younger brothers, I feel they let the side down, but I'm biased. This is just my opinion, but I'm sure my mum will back me up that I was pretty good at the chores. I had a real moment. I used to be shit at, like, clothes away and just being organised. And mum sent me to school with one shoe, maybe no shoes. And then the joke was on her because we walked to the library that day, which was a good maybe 2 k's away. And also we had to go past her aunt's furniture shop on the main street of Chicago, and I'm walking past like, hey, Auntie Betty. And I've got no shoes on or one shoe on. So yeah, joke backfired on her. But I was a bit more organised after that. And then I think that's what started my little bit of anal retentiveness, like organisation. But then I'm no, like, big anal retentive person. I think Nicole last night even accused me of, like, the washing basket's right there. I was like, yeah, but I'm going to wear it tomorrow. It was the not that dirty.
Yeah.
Not that dirty pole.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through, like, phases where normally I'm pretty good, but sometimes just get a bit lazy. And
Yeah. Well, especially when I was up there and took it all by myself. During the week would be a bit lax. Come Friday when Nicole and her daughter were coming up, it'd be, everything goes away. But then, or I'd go down to Hawke's Bay and come back with my bag, and my bag would sit there all week, and the reverse would happen and be like, I should really back that up.
I definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas last weekend when we went home, I was like, put it away. And pants, like, especially work pants with the belt in, I've got the old like belt clip hangers. Yeah, do struggle to put them on those, but of late I've been like, it's one of those like Mel Robbins things. Like, if it's less than 5-minute jobs, I think it is, just do them. Just get them done.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that, hey. Like, there's a lot of shit that takes up RAM in your head.
Yeah, that you let slide and then it holds there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to do it.
Yeah.
I think
you need a defrag.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I was listening to the Modern Wisdom podcast or something.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that. Like, things just build up. Like, even like a girl you want to talk to, like, but you didn't because you were too scared or whatever. But now that's just like in your head being like,
Who runs Modern Wisdom?
Chris Williams, I think.
Oh, yeah. I know what he looks like. Yep.
Yeah. This British fella.
Yeah.
Jacked British fella.
He's not Gymshark, no.
No, but he does wear Gymshark stuff, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diary of a CEO, he has some good stuff.
Who?
Ooh, Simon.
What?
Diary of a CEO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Simon's last name is. He has some good reels. I've listened to a few of his chats with some interesting people, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, I sort of stopped reading self-help.
Yeah. It's all the same shit.
It is, and you actually already know it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, how many times do I need to read that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're looking for a silver bullet, but no, it's the same. You know what you have to do.
Even I saw a Brene Brown article today, and like, she's great for understanding your psychology, but it's like when you see other people's psychology and just that, like, oh, I can't do anything about it. That's the rough realization. Like, you can go around diagnosing or projecting on everyone, but really you can't do anything about it. No, you just got to try and hold your shit together, and it's hard sometimes.
Yep, sometimes it is.
Yeah. So has the 2 on 2 off lived up to the dream?
Oh yeah,
so far so good, eh?
So far, well, I mean, I'm only like
3 rotations, 4 rotations.
Yeah, not even like a year, not even half a year in yet. But certainly from...
So each rotation is nearly a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the year go by pretty quickly, actually. So every hitch is a new month.
Hitch. What do they call a hitch?
I don't know, I'd have to think about it. Not sure.
It's not laid out on the manual.
Yeah, not sure. But yeah, every hitch is in a new month, and there's only 12 of them in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But enjoying the bit of freedom, and got a few travel plans
13,
going
man.
on.
There's 13.
13 what?
Hitches in a year. 48 is 12. 4s. 52 is 13. We've been doing basic facts.
Well, but how do you account for there's only 12 months and there's only one hitch in a month?
No, but there's not. There's more. There's more than 4 weeks in a month.
Yeah, I suppose there is, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why. So I went with the 52. And there's actually more than 52. It's 52 point something weeks in a year.
Oh.
Yeah, 13. Anyway. We digress.
Details.
Yeah, semantics. Back to I'm not that anal retentive.
Yeah, but got a few trips planned this year, and just wanna, like I said at the start of the year, my New Year's resolution was not to piss away my time off.
Yeah,
and so far it's been good. I haven't pissed it away, because like weekends when I was doing a 9 to 5, I would find that I'd just be knackered at the end of the week and would just piss away a weekend, no worries.
You'd go out after work on Friday, or it'd be like, I'm knackered, go home, go to sleep.
Yeah, like we go
rest all Saturday, and then be like, right, let's make the most of it.
Yeah. So like,
bit of that attitude.
Not like piss it away in the sense of like going out on the town getting wrecked. Pissing it away as in like sleeping on a Saturday and then ease into the Saturday with like an easy coffee and breakfast, and well, by the time you know it, it's halfway through the day, and then you're like, oh, what do I do now? And
then Sunday you're mentally gearing up.
Yeah, for Monday.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go away for the weekend, like New Plymouth,
the most handy place.
Although it's the promised land, it is a good 4 hours from anywhere that you want to go.
How long did it take you to get Palmy?
Palmy's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Palmy's like 3 hours. To be fair, Taupo's probably like 3 hours.
Fair.
The Mount is 3.5 to 4 hours. Auckland's about 4 hours.
Real? Mount Stream? Wow. Actually, even
3.5 to 4.
Even Tokoroa, I'm like, it's only an hour. That's actually quite handy. Like, Tokoroa to here, 50 minutes, 1 hour. Tokoroa to Tauranga, or the Mount even actually, hour.
Is it?
You might, to get to your parents' place, it'd be an hour 10. But yeah,
That's not bad.
But you're there. You're in that Bay Park. You're like, right, we're here.
Yep.
Past Bay Fair.
So yeah, like to go away for a weekend on a 9 to 5 from New Plymouth. It's just like a mish.
Yeah.
You have to go on a Friday night for sure, and it's a late Friday night then, and then
you got the same problem.
You're
You're sleeping in.
Yeah.
And you're wasting half the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you actually have plans to go and do something, and then if you have a boss that doesn't want to give you like time off that often, then that makes it quite difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 weeks off so far, going pretty good.
Yeah. Well, what was it like coming here for motocross stuff? What was that like?
On like weekends.
Yeah. Exhausting.
Yeah, like it's a pretty big weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you definitely haven't felt like you've had a chance to relax, because you dirt bike all Saturday, and then Sunday you'd go until about midday and then drive home, which is like you're not relaxing when you're driving,
especially with the motorbike on your table.
Yeah. And so fun, but
whereas if you like went out to the block, you could do that on a Sunday and wrap around and burn a tank of gas.
Yep.
Yeah. Bit more cruisy.
Yeah, and then you don't have to make a weekend of it either. You can just do a day.
Yeah.
Which, fortunately there's heaps of dirt bike rides in New Plymouth and Taranaki, which is pretty handy. But
so not even cheers to the brother-in-law. It's just like there's stuff to do.
There's heaps, yeah.
Yeah.
But his block is pretty good.
Do you do any motocross, or you're just all about the trail ride?
Just trails.
Yeah.
I like to keep both wheels on the ground.
I was about to say both wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
It gets too hurty otherwise, for my skill level.
Yeah, you've already busted it and you don't need any worse.
Yeah.
Was that was motorbiking,
Yeah. I body slammed the ground the other, like a couple of months ago, and my hip's still like kind of bruisey sore.
Yeah.
So I reckon I might have like bruised a bone or something on my hip.
Mate, it's ACC. Get yourself looked at.
Well, what are they going to do about a
well, it might not be.
Bone bruise.
Might not be.
It's not broken.
Yeah. Have you done the sort of blood work stuff that I've been chatting to the fellas about?
I did do some a few years ago, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't done it again, though.
Do you have apps in your GP? Do you know who your fucking GP is?
I got my indice.
Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
that's handy.
Yeah. I feel like GPs though haven't like caught. They're not listening to the same things that we're listening to nowadays. That like they don't really know what we want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the question I got asked the first time, because it was first off it was with the receptionist, and then it was with the nurse practitioner, and she was like, well, why do you want that? And I just told her my family history, and she's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the same when, especially when I moved to Tokoroa, they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I've already done these, like, let's do them again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to follow these. I want to make sure that if they become abnormal, we know that they're abnormal. They're just like not low and normal. They're abnormal for me. Yeah. And then I was quite stoked. My mate was telling me about he was having some blood work done, and that was it was within normal range but abnormal. And his GP was talking to him about Peter Attia, and I was like, "You've got a good GP." Yeah, and they would he's nearing 40, and so they were talking about like risk factors and like how we deeper explore your level of risk and stuff. I was like, that's what I like to hear from a doctor, from a GP.
Not many of them are like that.
Nah, but then he's heading towards 40, runs a business, and so he's got those stress, those risk. That's another risk factor. That's why that sort of is that bow shape of heart attacks. Like those guys in their 50s, they've got all these metabolic risk factors plus the stress and the lifestyle, and boom, for many of them the bomb goes off. Yeah, and so if you're leading into your 40s and you're aware of all these metabolic risk factors, which you can manipulate and sort of reinforce yourself against the lifestyle risk factors, well then that's good. Yeah. What are you doing day to day? Like
In terms of supplementation and stuff.
More like lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Oh yeah. So well, to be fair, during my time off recently has not been that active.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose being in Japan, we were skiing every day. That was pretty active. But this time off hasn't been particularly active. But while I'm out at the rig, I take my my Wahoo kicker, smart trainer, and hook my bike onto that and just Zwift for like an hour each night.
So Zwift's the app, right?
Yeah.
And that gives you a trail and stuff.
Yeah. So
and is that connected to the Wahoo and adjust resistance?
Yep. So I'm doing a plan at the moment to try and build up my FTP.
What's it?
The functional threshold performance.
And what's it based on?
So it's based on your FTP basically. So you do a ramp test to start with, which is basically, I can't remember what the duration of each step is.
And that's power outputs.
Yeah, but it's basically your trainer is in erg mode, and the tablet is, or the program Zwift is telling it to just up the power required from you every, 30 seconds or something.
And what's the feedback from that to hold the power?
So it sets the power, and you just have to turn your pedals at a certain RPM. I think it wants you to do like 85 RPM or something for the whole duration of the test, and you just have to keep 85, and it just gets harder.
So it's increasing resistance, and you've got to hold RPM.
Yeah.
Got it. And that equals power. Right.
Yep. And basically it just keeps ramping up until you can't turn the pedals.
And what's the time period that you've got to hold?
I think it's like 30 seconds or a minute or something. I can't remember what it was.
Right. And then how does the program work?
So the software has some smarts behind it, and based on what you achieved in that ramp test, it kind of calculates what your FTP is at that time. And then it basically works out your zone 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever levels based on that FTP number.
Not related to heart rate zones.
No.
Good.
And it sets out a progressive program from that to build you up. So at the end of 6 weeks, I'll do another ramp test and see if it increased or not. Should have.
What would you call those shift rotations? Hitches. After 3 hitches.
Yeah. Technically, I should be doing it in my off time as well.
Yeah.
But depending on, I'm not going to bring it all the way up the country with me.
Yeah. Nah, loose.
So yeah, it's probably that's pretty much what I'm up to at the moment, at least until I do the Round the Mountain race next month.
On the bike.
Yeah.
So getting out the road bike.
Doing 150k.
Nice. When did you do that?
Good ride.
How are you prepared for that, or mentally aware to do that?
Just getting the time on the saddle with the Zwifting. And
Yeah. What have you done in triathlon? What's the triathlon ride?
triathlon, depends which one it is. Olympic distance is 40k.
Yeah. Oh, that's a wee way away then, isn't it?
Yeah, the 150k is between a half and a full Ironman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done any riding or group riding or anything like that?
Not this year, but like I've done the round the mountain before and ridden in the peloton before.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Nice.
You just got to not be too twitchy on your brakes because you'll fuck it up for everyone.
Yeah, I know from been on fixies
Mm.
in a Criterion. Thanks, mate. Yeah, got some nice gravel rash up the side of my body. Yeah, it was good. That was a long drive back from Drummond. I think I might have been like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. It was painful. Tell you what, the wave at the BP service station in North Road in Invercargill made a hell of a difference. Cheers, Dad. Do you remember that wave chocolate milk? It made a hell of a difference. Yeah.
On the bike.
No, this was like after a good 30, 40 minutes drive back back to Invercargill, and Dad, I don't know if you needed fuel or not, but yeah, bit of chocolate milk lifted the spirits.
Nice.
Yeah. So what do you value, Matt? What are your values?
Ooh. Honesty.
Yep.
Just genuineness.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are pretty key ones. Yeah. Like if I try and think of what I value in my friends and family, yeah.
So that's a characteristic, and the people quite close to you as your friends and family, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been pretty lucky to have a good network of friends, eh?
Pretty small group, but yeah, tight and yeah, similar people.
Yeah, and it's from drum and bass to country music, it's always good to wake up on a morning and someone's dropped in an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Someone's been doing a workout somewhere in the country, and they might have listened to country and dropped that in there, or Luke Bryan, Morgan Wallens, they've dropped a new song, how ridiculous that these two country artists come to New Zealand and they book the Spark Arena.
Oh, I don't think it's the Spark Arena that's the issue.
No, it's the people booking it. They don't back it.
Just
book them Eden Park next time, please.
I can't believe how expensive it was.
Oh, that was the other problem.
That was the main problem, I would say.
Yeah,
$300 or something.
Well, it sold out. Of course, they did. You would charge that much if you're going to sell out.
Yeah.
If you've only got 20,000 tickets,
I suppose so.
Should have been Eden Park.
Ain't nobody got money for that.
Should have been 50,000 seats. It still would have sold out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know how much more Western Springs can hold.
Or just more venues in more locations.
Yeah. I do feel like it was sold to them as just another suburb of Australia.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how Luke goes. Was that already been? Luke Combs already been?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. When we didn't get tickets, I was just like,
yeah,
screw that.
I'm not really following it.
Yeah. No, I saw Morgan Wallens there last week. And I was
Yes. He was there recently.
I was like, yeah.
Because Mike Hosking's on the bandwagon.
Hoskings, is it?
He's a country fan.
What were you doing listening to Hosk?
Hey?
What were you doing listening to
he's great. I'm
not surprised,
I
Matthew.
love listening to Kate and Mike in the mornings. Fuck, they're hilarious.
Do they do a morning show together?
No, Kate's on before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like on the way to CrossFit.
What time in the morning?
Like 5 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nothing like a morning rant.
I have been guilty twice when I've come back from, well, once, and these have both been from Tauranga, before I had my phone charger in my car. I'd run out of charge because, of course, I've like finished up here in in Taupo, driven to Tauranga and done a podcast, then come home, got no battery left. And so the only thing that's reliable is, again, News Talk ZB, and I'll Kerry Woodham. And actually, the last one was Marcus Lush, old Lushy from Bluff.
I don't like Marcus.
But at the middle of the night, honestly, when you got nothing, it's a bit like running this podcast, isn't it? You got nothing to talk about, you just rant, and you just like, you just hear him like poke the bear, like waiting for the phone to ring, like, oh yeah. So he like starts off with the main topic, and then he just throws in another topic, and still no calls. And then he's like, what about this? And then he just gets some bait, and of course they just like feed off what somebody else has said. That's the beauty of it. Is it talk back in the morning?
Not really.
No,
it's more their opinions.
How long is it for? An hour, 2 hours?
I think Kate's probably like an hour, and Hosking's probably like at least 2, I think.
So what? They monologue ads, and then what?
They'll have a guest that they talk to every time as well. Often the Prime Minister or a minister.
Yeah.
And they'll just give it to them.
The balance of the media.
They're about the only ones that like have anything to say to the left.
Oh, and panda for the right. That's good. That's great.
Well, hopefully they have someone to grill on the right coming up. Get rid of this outfit.
Well,
it has improved.
We shall
quite
see.
Significantly.
What's his name? Blondie?
Hipkins,
Christopher. What a job. Stuff that.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing stuff that old Nashy's in the shit from about 2 years ago, and I'm like, what has he done? What did he do 2 years ago? Why was I not dealt with then? Are you up with it, Matt? Can you fill me in?
Not 100%.
I saw something to do with police.
The police minister, right?
Yeah.
I think he was just basically saying things publicly that sort of insinuated what he thought a judge should make a judgment on when he needs to just shut his mouth.
Yeah.
Like the case needs to be heard. Yeah, you can't have influence on that. That's basically
my total of 0 lectures in law. Actually, I did listen to first year law history with a previous girlfriend. First year law didn't end. It was quite an education, the history of law. Yeah. No, it was good to sleep to tell you that. Very good, Matthew. We should finish your glass of wine and this bottle of wine and hit the hay.
And the cigar.
Oh yeah, that too. Beautiful. Thanks, Matt. You've this hitching is working well for you. Mean.
Yep. Shot, bro.